Scott Brock, God bless you, sir. You are here. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks. Good to see you again. Been a while.
Yeah, it has. Listen, you are in engagement with the Middleton School District in security, right? Part of the budget that Middleton is presenting to the voting populace is for security.
Correct.
You're not part of the, hey, we're building a school. You're not part of the, hey, we're doing this. You're part of, hey, man, we need to continue funding security, meaningful security for the children of Middleton, correct?
Correct.
Help me understand the budget.
So the way this levy is going forward, and again, I don't want to make people think that, if they're going to vote no, they're going to vote no. I'm not going to change anybody's mind. Sure. But what I want to do is put out correct information. So they've added quite a few things into this particular levy. They'll cover some teacher salaries, etc. The portion that I'm here to talk about is really based on security, and it funds current security officers that are on campus now. Those are gentlemen that I employ and put on as a private company, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later. Right. It also adds money for school resource officers.
Gotcha.
So we're set. If this does not pass, we will lose the money for a single SRO. So we will be down to one SRO for our campuses. So we're talking one for high school, middle school, elementary schools, etc. So they already do a job that has got them busier than you can imagine. There's a lot that goes on for an SRO. And we have two. We have one to middle school and one to high school. If this levy does not pass, we will be down to one. So it's kind of a critical piece, and basically the school district has baked that security piece into the whole levy. So they're very transparent about what they're trying to sell to voters, and I'm here to kind of talk about the security aspect of it. I think the number for us, and when I say us, like, I don't know how they're paying me now, if you want the truth.
Mark Gee.
I have no idea. He is literally robbing Peter to pay Paul. But it's taken us a long time to come up with a program that works. And we've been on campus for over 3 years now. I think our parents are super happy with us. Staff is happy. My guys provide the top tier protection that we possibly can.
Do this if you may. I know there was a lot of talk in the 23 or 2024 legislative session about making schools, removing away the gun-free zone and making them Second Amendment zones and a bunch of other things.
Sure.
You have a program that was in existence before this, by the way.
Correct.
And the idea behind, okay, I'm going to botch it because I've talked briefly about your program. Could you just explain the program you offer Middleton from the ground up? Because I've heard a bunch of different things about a bunch of different programs, and I'm going to screw it up. So
basically and this was a 4-year process. It took about 4 years and a couple superintendents, having to present, the facts and how we thought we could protect the school district. And I did it because that's my school district. That's where my children went to school. I care about the district. I'm involved in the community, and I have a past and a background that falls right in line with this. And when I retired, the first thing I said to myself was, rather than cut the grass at the school, what I would like to do is just be the security guy. And so through that, it's evolved. And we've basically came up with a program where I can put highly skilled, highly trained, armed professionals on campus, concealed carry. They look like everybody else on campus. There's no security guard uniform, nothing like that. But they provide constant 100% vigilance. What folks don't know is, school resource officers are busy. They have a caseload. They're prosecuting crimes that take place within schools. They're doing investigations. They're working on, custody agreements that are happening within the schools, restraining orders where a dad can't see a parent, his children. There is all kinds of legal things that are taking place within the school. So those resource officers are not always active and vigilant on the school. When I say vigilant, I mean walking the perimeter. So we basically set up a program, and I said, look, I can come in and I can indemnify the school district, meaning take the responsibility of life-saving away from teachers, away from administration, and say, I've got it. They said, well, how are you going to do that? And who are you? So I presented my background. I went through a request for, I can't remember, it's called an RFI, basically, where, they put it out to bid, and then the school board looks over everybody's bid for how much it would cost, and then they go over the background. And I have a pretty extensive background in security, and I'd be more than happy to tell everybody in the world about it. I just mostly keep my mouth shut and I don't talk about it. But I've done it at the highest level possible. So I've guarded the most important people on the planet. So I'm saying president and down. Been on 2 presidential details in high threat areas, etc., and down below that. To me, nowadays, the most important people on the planet are the children in my community. So I presented to them that I could do this job. I could put guys on campus who are highly qualified, exceptionally trained. We go through a rigorous vetting process, and we train every single month. So they're medically trained. They can handle any trauma that happens at a school, and understanding the time frame that when an event happens, seconds matter. And if someone is actually hurt, then my guys are there medically to handle that before EMS can even get there, before first responders get there. We are the initial responders. And I told the school district I could handle any problem that comes on campus in 90 seconds or less. And I stick by that 100%. So what does that mean? It means finding the right human being. So I have Green Berets on campus. I have extremely high-level civilian shooters on campus. And it all starts with what we call the meat and potatoes, the hard skills. We're very competent. My guys are all master-level shooters. And then from there, they're fathers. We train in de-escalation. They're there to handle interpersonal problems with children. They basically take the security worry away from everyone and put it on their plate. And then if something happens, my company has the responsibility. I own it. So that makes the school district kind of out of it. It puts them in a safer place. And the last thing you want is for a teacher to pull out a concealed gun, miss a bad guy, and shoot an innocent. Okay? So now the school district is going to get sued for more money than they're ever going to have. And then understand also that if a school teacher or a custodian who's caring gets in an incident at the school, they're probably going to have some stress-related post-traumatic stress from that. They're probably never going to work again. And that comes from, having to engage someone or shoot a child or however it works, right? And so they're going to be paying that salary for the rest of their lives. There's a lot of things. So me looking at it objectively, and my background is from Blackwater and Triple Canopy and all those things, where Eric Prince said, I can come in and do the job that the military is doing for half the price with better guys. And that's what I did. I took that mindset that I had from years and years and years of doing all that work and said, we can do it as a private contract company. I can come in and provide the highest level, and I can prove it to you. And we did. And so, we're 3 years and running. The problem is that how are they paying for us? I don't know. I don't know how Markey comes up with the money. I know that I bill out less money than school resource officers. I'm basically half the price that a school resource officer is. And we never leave campus, ever, not for 1 second. My guys eat lunch being vigilant. They're watching the entire school grounds while they're eating. So there's not one human being that goes on a campus that we're guarding that we don't see walk on that campus. So unless you helicopter down onto the top of the campus, we're going to see you. We're going to notice you. We're going to direct you to where you need to go. We're involved in you. We're catching the potential problem before it even gets out of its vehicle in most cases. So the school district liked it. The school board liked it. Now the parents like it. The teachers love it. So we're there to help out. And it's working pretty good. And like I said, funding, I have no idea how they're doing it. I have no idea. But in order for us to get into more campuses, meaning for them to come up with the money to put us in the in 2 other campuses. And I don't want to specifically say, but it says it right in the levy. They're going for the middle school and the high school. They're asking taxpayers to pay the funds. And it being baked into the levy makes it a little harder palate because there are other things that people might not agree with. I don't think if I asked you, Matt, do you want me, if your kids were at my school and all of a sudden we weren't there, you would feel unprotected. You would feel a little less confident about what's happening with your kid during the day.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So pulling us is going to be a problem. And I don't want people to focus on the fact that like this is a company and we're here for profit, because we're really not. The first 2 years we lost $6,500 each year. My guys shoot over 1,000 rounds each per month. So I put all the money right back into training and getting them every single thing they need to do their job proficiently. And I pay them well. My guys make basically what a sergeant on a police department makes. So that's why I have a waiting list of humans wanting to come on for pay. But my requirements are really high. In the school resource officer genre, the police department is actually making a small bit of profit off of there. Plus you have to factor in the cost for a car. There's a vehicle there too.
Sure.
So there's overtime, there's all those things. My guys are flat. I say, I do it all school year long, every minute of every day for this much money. And so it's not for profit. It is the dumbest business model in the history of the planet. I promise you. I hold more liability legally than probably anybody you know. So it is a very, my GL policy is 1/4 of the amount I bill out. It's tremendous.
I'm sorry, what's a GL? Oh, general liability policy.
My general liability policy.
Represents 1/4 of the entire bill.
That's right. It is a lot of money. And then on top of that, you have payroll taxes and workman's comp, right, to be a legal business. So it's a lot of money to put these guys on the ground, and all the money goes into pay. I don't receive a pay. I don't receive $0 in pay, zero. So, and that's kind of the way we wanted it. Like if I'm putting something in front of taxpayers, like I'm cheap. Like I want everything right. I want everything visible. I want it to be on the up and up, always, balls and strikes. And so our program has proven itself. And initially I had a hard time with school resource officers and understanding. And over the years, we've built a pretty good reputation between the two of us, and we work well together at this point. They trust us and we trust them. And once you actually learn what a school resource officer does, you realize that I don't really want no part of that.
Right.
That is not what I do. Protection in law enforcement is different, Matt. So we need them. We do need them. And we can work. We've learned we can work in conjunction with a school resource officer. We can be on a campus and still have a school resource officer there.
Right.
Protection is different than law enforcement. We are there for protection. If they need us if the principal says, hey, I have a kid doing this, we can go help out, of course. So we have a pretty broad base that we cover. But the skills that we bring, the trauma care that we bring, all of it, it's a pretty extensive list of things that we bring to these campuses and the skill level. So like I said, every single one of my guys, our qualification is so hard that it puts you at a master level. Every one of my guys shoot at a IPSC or IDPA or USPSA master level. And I've gone out, Raul Garcia, a mutual friend of ours, kind of wanted to test me. He took me out to a range and we shot. And I think he was happy with how I performed under pressure. So he wanted to vet me to make sure that I knew what I'm doing. And Raul's legit. Raul knows his stuff, and he spent a lot of time on Boise SWAT, and he knows what he's doing, and he's in that school security genre too. So
he's also in a sports shooter genre as well, right? Like he's he doesn't just do it professionally, but it's like, oh no, these are the guys that spend their free time because this is like some people play tennis, some people play pool. Raul gets a lot of bullets and goes out and has fun.
He is legit. He shoots very, very well. And so yes. And even talking to him, I'm like, where are you getting your, if you take a day off, who's covering for you? And he's like, I don't really have anybody because I don't trust him. I got to have this level. My level needs to be here.
Right.
And so that's where we're at. I'm pretty proud of the men that I have on there. Understand, Matt, that every day my guys go to school knowing, and my men know every single child on that campus. They know virtually every parent. So they, right now we have 2,000 kids under our care. And I promise you, you're not going to harm them. You're not going to harm them on my campuses. It's not going to happen. And that's our mindset. My men are willing to lose their life or give their life trying to save the cafeteria lady, the lady, cleaning the floors, every teacher, no matter what color your hair is, no matter what your child comes from background-wise, it doesn't matter. When you step on our campus, you belong to us, and we got you. And you're not going to get on. So those men, man, it gives me goosebumps just being able to find those kind of men. These are grown men. They have families and mortgages and car payments and kids in school and all of it. And this is their job. This is their profession. Remember in 300, and they were asking everybody, what's your job? Yeah. Oh, I'm a painter. I'm an artist. Yeah. I'm this and that, right? You ask my guys what they do, and they'll tell you.
Yeah.
They protect kids, and they do it with their own life. They will absolutely give their own life for the children there. And that's the only way that we can protect them. You have to have the right man. The gun is not going to do it. We've talked about arming teachers and all these other things. It's out there. Everybody has an idea. Fortunately, those of us that have been in combat and been in a gunfight or 2 or 5 or 10 or 50 know exactly what it takes to do the job correctly. And so we've put this program together. The school district wants to fund it. They want to grow it. They don't have the money. In order to do that, they have to cut teachers. We're going to have to lose a teacher to pay for our salary, et cetera. So it's kind of it's a tough situation, and having to go to the voters constantly to ask for it. I can't imagine being in that position. So my piece of the puzzle being here is just to simply kind of clear the air on what we do, why we do it, and what the need is. And if the voters say that they can't do this, I understand. We're going to continue to find a way to make it happen. But you will be helping the school district out. You'll be helping the children of Middleton out. If I can get on the middle school and the high school campuses, so we're talking another 1,500, 1,700 at the high school, probably 700 to 900, maybe 1,000 at the middle school. So all of those children, their lives have to be more important than a dollar sign. They have to be. So, I wrote a cheesy little book on it a while ago called, How Much Are Our Children Worth? And that's based around school security, how it works. And the only way that I can come up with in my 25 years of war and security to protect these children is to put the right man with the right skill set in the right spot. And I've done it. And I'm going to continue to do it as long as I possibly can. And like I said, I've poured money out of my own pocket to do this, to get this thing up and running. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is how many children are under our cloak. And so that's where the school is at now. They're going to put a levy on the 4th. It's on this, election. And they're going to be asking for money. I can only talk about my portion, $307,366. And the quote from superintendent is basically pay for one of 2 SROs. So if this passes, they'll have enough money to keep both SROs, but this money will only be paying for one of them. So it'll alleviate some of the strain from the school district. And then it would also add us to the middle school, one of my men at the middle school and one of my men at the high school. So that's our portion of that 307,366. And like I said, SROs are more expensive than us, and I could battle that all day as a taxpayer and say that I provide a better service for less money. I do. But these schools cannot run without an SRO. And it's because of the legal things that are happening within the school. And, get Takeuchi on here, get somebody on here who can talk about how busy and what their caseload is. These SROs have more cases than a patrol officer would have, somebody out in the field. Like, they're busy.
Right.
They're in court.
Right. I was going to say, you have different services that are being offered by these two. Like, you have an SRO standing next to one of your guys. Let's make the assumption, I have no idea, but let's make the assumption that your guy would be a better, marksman than the SRO.
I can guarantee that.
Okay, great. There you go. But it's like, okay, that's fine. But are you going to testify in some, charge that's been lobbied against the 8th grade guy for like this, or are you investigating?
That's the SRO.
Right. And that's the thing. So it's like, these are different services.
That is correct.
Everybody has their place. Yes. Yeah. One of the priorities of an SRO is to offer a manner of security for outside, bad actors. But the other part is to engage in other law enforcement activities.
Sure. And then understand that if we do have an incident, right? And we just went over Middleton, Officer Randall put on a great, training event over the summer. I attended it. Next year, my guys will be attending it. And, it's a simulation drill, right? Where we're simulating, an active shooter at the school, and the integration that we would already be there. We're initial. We're not first responders. We're initial. So my guys have a 90-second isolate or eliminate protocol. I expect them to get to there, start making decisions, and get the problem solved in 90 seconds or less on every campus. And so then if there is no SRO, we have responding elements that show up. We would integrate with them and help out in any way we can.
Sure.
Or we would be doing immediate first aid. And my guys, like I said, are highly trained. We train at a TCCC level, which is just basically trauma care.
Gotcha.
And so, all the things that you can imagine that would happen during an active shooter event. Understand there's a bullet flying every 11 seconds. So we're there to help that. Those time frames that we learned, or the public saw from Uvalde, where you can be involved in one of those incidents and still not get EMS in there for a long time. My guys will be there doing trauma care. We've gone into the schools and set up trauma protocols within the school. We have the medical tools necessary. We told the school district, I need A, B, C, and D, and they bought it, and we have it. And so we can access all that stuff, so we can be providing life-saving care long before EMS gets there, long before. And those are all critical things that we can do. So, and we're there all the time. We never leave. So yes, there is a night and day difference between what they do and what we do. And there is a level of comfort and protection that they provide, that SROs provide. But holy mackerel, when you just see what they're involved in on a daily basis, when I hear it, it makes my head swim. And it's a tough job. Holy mackerel. So it's different than what we do.
Yes.
We, being on campus with them, will make their job a lot easier. We really will. And so currently, we have Middleton School District has added a couple non-armed security folks, and those are basically, you're just going to get on the radio, hey, I see this. Sure. Maybe there's a man with a gun, there's a fight, there's this or that, and they can respond, but they have nothing to respond with, and we're the immediate problem solvers. So we just show up and solve problems. That's pretty much what we do.
Dude, I need one of you guys in my life. I want somebody to show up and solve problems.
I see the kids walking home from school today, and I look at them and I tell you, I'm not a people person, but I'm a kid and an animal person. I tell you that. So there's not a kid I see walking around that I wouldn't instantly give my life for. It's just, it's in our nature. And those men are out there, and I can find them, and I can cultivate them, and I can grow them. They're just good men. And I'm not opposed to having a female either. So I've had a few apply. They just haven't been able to make the qualifications yet. So, yeah. And we have mandatory ongoing training. My guys are training 5 hours a month. And like I said, in most cases, each one is shooting about 1,000 rounds per month. So our qualification is a no miss. You cannot miss, period. 0. You cannot miss a single round. It's unacceptable. That's not how we work. All active shooter situations are basically hostage rescue. So you have to be precise. There's no room for error. There is not. So again, just giving, Mr. Smith's science teacher a gun could be problems. And the analogy I would give is, I know you're a black belt in
jiu-jitsu guy.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm a purple belt from the Army, right? Army gave me a purple belt. You're probably a little bit better than me, right?
Could be.
About 30 seconds, you would wrap me up in a pretzel, right?
Or less.
That's the skill difference. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
My guys are professionals. This is what we do. So, and they train to a standard, and the standard has not changed. It's just the standard. It is what it is. And I accept nothing less, period, end of story. So we got the right human beings there. I've talked about profit margins. I've talked about the costs of everything, our legal responsibility if we had to engage somebody. My company stands alone on that. We take full responsibility.
Sure.
There is some code that, depending on how the AG would see it, might put us under the cloak of school and, contractor employee. And I would hope that would happen. I absolutely would, because we're there doing the right thing. And my guys are going to make the right calls because I trust them. They're the right human beings. That would prevent us from being civilly sued, which would be fantastic. So we're putting a big risk out there. But if you ask every one of my guys, would they continue to do it? Even if we didn't have any level of safety, they would. So those people are there. I found them and I put them in the right place. So,
question for you. Have you proposed this to other school districts outside of Middleton?
Yeah, I've talked with Payette, I've talked with Fruitland, and it's budget. It literally is money. So they're going to have to cut teachers in order to put us on. And again, is there room to trim in a budget at a school district? If you ask Scott Brock, the citizen, I'm going to say, you damn right. There should be. There's something. I'm a business guy. I run multiple businesses. So somehow, somewhere, some way, you've got to prioritize, and you'll find a way to make it happen. And I think that's what's happening currently. But at Fruitland and Payette, Stoney. Stoney's a great guy. I've had face-to-face with him. We've talked about it. And I'll do anything I can to help him out. He needs us. He needs us or someone like us. And I'm not just saying it's me. I can point you in Raul's direction. There's a few out there. We went over the Caldwell stuff when Caldwell decided to. Caldwell couldn't pay for SROs or didn't want to, so they switched over to a private company. I'm not going to say anything good or bad about them. I'm just going to say that they're not remotely at my skill level. They are not even remotely at the skill level at which my guys operate. I also do not want to have to tase or pepper spray my own children in my own schools. So that's kind of, those are some things that I'm unwilling to do.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes, I have had this discussion. Debbie Critchfield knows of my program. People know. I've been very silent about it. And I wanted to make sure that we were doing the right thing. And at this point, my heart is full. Like, we're doing the right thing and then some. So my guys never ask for overtime, nothing. They do the job. You stay till the job is done, right? What was that? And Brad Pitt said that. Remember in
what film?
Oh, where he was a pikey. Remember?
Oh my God!
You stay till the job is done.
Yeah, Snatch.
Snatch.
Yeah.
He said we stay till the job is done, and they were fighting, right?
Yeah.
They stay till the job's done. So we do football games and stuff, and West Ada moved into the non-armed mindset, and what that might do for you as a parent is make you feel a little bit better, but it's a window dressing, I promise you. And don't take my word. Ask Raul, ask any, pipe hitter, some top level guys that know what happens when bad things come.
Gotcha.
And it's just, hey, you're still just calling for help. you're not the help. You need the help right there.
Gotcha.
So we're just instantly there. I presented to multiple legislators, and I've had multiple legislators come into our school, our campuses while we're there, talk to my guys, etc. I've invited multiple legislators to come and train with us and shoot with us and kind of see who we are and what we're about. I also wrote a program. I gave you a copy right here. It's called Train the Teacher. And if they were to move to a model of arming teachers, which I'm not arrogant enough to say that arming a teacher is no good. I'm going to say that it is no good if they don't have any training. So that model that I put in front of you there, I have sent that to multiple, legislators. I've sent it to Idaho State Department of Education. I've sent it to multiple principals. Ideally, the school districts would kind of do their own thing, I guess. And but using the concealed handgun class as the standard is haphazard. That is the lowest denominator. There's not a pass or fail on the qualification. You're simply just paying a tax to get your license. That's all you're doing. You could go there and miss virtually every single round, and they're still going to pass you. They'll give you a remedial, but you're going to leave there with your concealed handgun permit. And that's not good enough in the situation where children are running down the hallway and someone's trying to hurt them. It's not the right thing. So that program that I put in front of you, I don't care who runs that program. I've made phone calls to Texas, to Paul Howe. Paul Howe is a Delta Force operator who runs a training program in Nacogdoches, Texas, and he helped build the Texas Guardian program. And so a lot of that comes from there. Gotcha. In December, I'll be in Texas at the Alert, which is it's basically the Advanced Law Enforcement Training Center. And they train for active shooter, and everybody around the country comes. Another Delta Force guy, Kyle Morgan, will be there in December. I'm going to take his class, and he's trying to revamp their program. That's what all law enforcement uses here in Idaho. So when there's an active shooter event, we went to that training in the summer. That is an alert training program. Federal funding comes in, guys teach it, and then it goes out, it gets disseminated to individuals throughout the law enforcement community. You can have your guys attend and get certified to teach it, etc. So it's basically what incident command is once an event takes place. How to get in, how to handle the problem, how to do incident command, how to get EMS in, how to do all of that, right? And so I'll be at the facility in December going through with Kyle Morgan. He's trying to revamp their stuff and bring it up to modern. Is pretty lacking, in my opinion. Pretty behind the times on building clearing and etc. So they're trying to bring that back up. So there's a couple programs out there now by the top tier guys. And, I'm not letting any of that pass me by. I'm at all of them to make sure that what my guys are being trained on is the top. All of my training when I went through State Department and CIA stuff is all kind of Delta Force stuff. And most of our shoot house instructors are all ex-CAG guys. So that's really where all of my training and what I put into my gentlemen that go out, on campus, that's doing the same thing. And I get guys that are contractors from around the country calling me, hey, do you have an opening? And I'm like, I don't have any money. Like, we have no money for openings. I have other schools, but I don't have any money. So getting those other schools to jump on board, they have to have a paradigm switch, Matt. Yeah. They've got to understand that, I like Alan Takeuchi a lot. Like a lot. He's a good dude. And I like Officer Randall, my SRO, and I like Officer Snyder, my SRO. But a lot of times they're in court. They're not on campus. A lot of times they're in their office doing investigative work. They're doing other things. And if you don't have active, vigilant security on a campus, dedicated, how does a teacher who's teaching math stop and leave the children that they have to go protect other children? What do those children do? I mean, I could chop that theory up 1,000 ways, but I've been in a gunfight or two, and I know what the real tactics are. So having other school districts get on board would be fantastic. Having them set a standard at what would be required of that company, that's going to be, eventually we're going to get there. I think over the next 10 years, we're not immune. You know, we've already had one in Rigby, right? We've already had an active shooter situation in Rigby. It ended okay. We had some wounded, and teacher was able to wrap the kid up and, you know, bravely. But we're not immune. And as you can see, if you watch the news, when I first got back here in 2014, late 14, early 15, I think I left the State Department and we moved back here. My wife and I would laugh. We watched the news and there was like nothing, talking about beets and corn, right? And I'm from here. Like, I don't remember murders or anything. Watch the news tonight. How many deaths are there tonight between aggravated assaults and people shooting at the malls now? They're at the Village pulling guns on people. Like, this is a different mindset of human beings here now. And I'm not going to pinpoint who it is because I don't really care. You're either a good guy or a bad guy, friend or foe. And we got some bad people here now. And we've got an underbelly that's here, Caldwell and Wilder, as we just see. They're out there, and they're not afraid to hurt people. They're not. So, and then you have the husband who has been taken away from his family, and he's mad. So you got the workplace violence stuff. I'm going to the school to get my kid, and it's a different environment now. And if we don't realize that, we're just going to sit back and say it's too late. And that's what Texas did after Uvalde. They knee-jerked and put together a Guardian program that was really haphazard. And now it's slowly getting revamped. And luckily, they haven't had too many instances since. But the guys that know and the guys that have the skill are trying to get out there and put this together. And people need to listen. The Department of Education needs to listen. Do I think there should be a line item at JFAC for school security? Yes. Let me look in the camera. Where is it? Yes. Why not? Why wouldn't there be? Maybe that $200,000 a year salary comes down to $150, so I can put $50 toward a guy that will give his life. And I ask that $200,000 person, would you give your life today, tomorrow, for any of those kids? Like, literally stop breathing. The men that I put out there will. That's the difference. It's heavy.
Yeah, no, but yeah, it is. But I mean, the world is heavy.
And so now I'm wrapped up in all the other stuff in that levy, Matt. Yeah. Like,
listen, I get it. I'm thankful that people have you, that Middleton has you. It's, these are heavy things, and conversations that I've waded into in recent times. Some of them are really like, oh my gosh, you almost wish, hey, there are times when I think, gosh, it would be nice to not know some of the things I do, but that's not a solution. That's just being tired. It's like, no, man, yeah. You learn something of consequence doesn't make you happy. It's not that the answer is stick your head in the sand. It's just, yeah, man, maybe get a good night's sleep and move on, and just recognize that these are facts of the world.
Talk to a school resource officer off the record.
Yeah.
It'll blow your mind. Like, boom, out the side. You're like, you're doing this, like, this is what's happening right now in my school?
Yeah.
Yep. So,
it's not kitty litter boxes.
It's not. I mean, again, I can't sway voters. That's really not what I'm here to do.
Sure.
We're going to do our job no matter what happens. It doesn't matter. I'm going to try. I think my school district can continue to rob Peter to pay Paul to keep us there. Other schools need to jump on board. You need to come see our program, talk to my guy, talk to Mark Gee, see what we're doing, and see the real deal. And nothing less than a high standard is going to get it done. So, but just think about it, voters, and understand kind of what's at risk. And, my kids aren't in school anymore. My kids aren't in school anymore. I will happily pay my taxes so you can take your $5,000 and homeschool your kid. I've raised my kids. My kids are doing great, and they were public school raised, and they're both doing fantastic. I will happily give my tax money to you for you to go, if that's what you want to do with your kid. But don't destroy the public school system in the process, okay? It's a needed thing. It is absolutely a societal needed thing. And I'm not here to validate any of the politics. Sure. Everybody knows my politics. I'm pretty open about it. But I need to protect kids. Right now I got 2,000. How many kids we got in this state? I want us to have the most vigorous. And also to caveat on that, you cannot do what Uvalde did. They created their own police force just for schools, right? So what that does is that it creates an establishment. It creates a hierarchy. It creates a kingdom of who gets promoted and who gets in and who gets the job. And dudes fight over SRO positions, like for real. So it creates a system of who's in charge and who's going to do what. And Uvalde is the absolute litmus test for that, for creating a school police force. It's a no bueno. So Eric Prince was right when he invented Blackwater. We went in and did the work of 7 people. One of us did, and we did it for less money. And we never lost a protectee, not one time. I've been in the most dangerous places on the planet with people that wanted, they wanted my people. They wanted to hurt us and the people I'm protecting, and it never happened because he hired the right guys. He trained the right guys. We did the right job. And we did it for less money. We're just more streamlined. There's no fat, no nothing. The decisions are made right here via phone. Guys call me, hey, I got this situation going on. What should I do? Do this. Done. Solved it. It's simple. So, and the school just gets to do what they do. And that's nurture, care for, educate my kids. And also note that my guys keep an eye on everything. If we don't like, or we don't see, if we see things on campus that we are unhappy with, and you can probably understand the avenue that I'm trying to walk you down.
Yeah.
We report it. Like, it goes right to the top. I don't have steps. I go right to the man. So there's no inappropriate, it's not happening because my guys are there for all of it. The protection of the child in its entity is the goal, no matter what that requires. So.
Gotcha. Well, again, thank you for bringing that information, and thanks for what you're doing for Middleton. And again, I don't live in Middleton. I'm not a voter there. But at least people have the information to vote the way they want.
Yeah. And you should be able to go to your West Ada and talk to your school board and say, hey, like, get into the meat and potatoes. Ask them what happens. What happens if somebody pulls up in the parking lot and unloads with a pile of guns to come in? Like, what is the time frames, the responses, and who's doing that? Is it my guy with the radio and the yellow vest? So that's, if only one got hurt or lost, only one child got hurt or lost their life, do you want it to be yours? ? Or would you rather have somebody who's willing to be the person who stops that there for real and is never switched off? So we're the Malinois running around your backyard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks for coming in, Scott.
Thanks for having me, Matt. I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. And good luck with the levy.
Thank you.